Welcome to the Wildcats podcast, coming to you from Wildcats Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome back to Wildcats Studios for the Season 5 premiere of the Wildcats podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats. As always, I'm your host, Adam, and I'm joined fresh off his vacation, back from Ontario. I'll get into all your superlatives as we get into regular season, but Jeremy, welcome back. How you doing?
Very good.
Yeah.
Aloha to all of our viewers watching on the YouTube. As you can, we've got the
We're still in preseason
Hawaiian,
mode or summer mode.
Summer mode, Hawaiian shirts. Adam's got some blue lobsters there. Also, if you've ever tried the blue lobster vodka drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I got a joke for you. Speaking of lobsters.
I'm in.
You might not get this one because you're not French, but it's more like a bilingual joke.
Okay.
Where do lobsters buy their tools?
No idea.
At the hardware.
Yeah, I got it now.
Because homard is lobster in French.
Yeah. No, I knew that. I did know that.
Yeah.
I can sometimes flip the menu over and read the French side
There you
sometimes.
go.
So, yeah, man. Like, how was Ontario?
It was actually quite good.
How was the drive, first of all, Mr.?
The drive was long.
Yeah.
Because what we did is we left at 8:30 at night and drove straight through. So we didn't get to our final destination until about 10 o'clock the next morning.
Very Celine Dion of you. Drove all night.
Yeah.
That's her song, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I drove all night. I will not be singing for the rest of the episode. You're welcome. But
yeah. So
yeah, that's a long. I've never driven all night like that.
Quite a haul.
Yeah.
I like it because it beats the traffic. I mean, you're driving through Quebec City at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You're driving through Montreal at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're going through Ottawa at 7:30 in the morning. So there's not a lot of traffic. I mean, Ottawa. I wouldn't call it traffic, but it wasn't Moncton.
Yeah.
But it would be like driving from Dartmouth to downtown Halifax on a Monday morning, right? That kind of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I was fine. Megan was stressed. She was holding on to the holy shit handle.
Yeah.
The whole drive through Ottawa.
How'd Avery do?
Avery was good. Fell asleep most of the time.
DVD player or laptop? Or
yeah, she had her
computer?
iPad, watching whatever she watches these days, little vlogs. As A for Adelie and
The YouTube.
YouTube Kids. These Life as We Gomez and these little vlogs of these families who carry cameras around with them all the time. And if you look them up on YouTube or Google, they're worth millions and millions of dollars because all they do is
They figured it out.
Yeah, they've got it. Exactly, they've got it figured out. Other than that, I went to a Jays game, which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was the second game of their homestand. So the second game against KC, 15,000 people sounded like 35,000 people. So their Jays are on could have a roll right now, and so I'm excited. Especially when we work at Rogers and you have shares in the company and you have the Jays are doing good. You're doing good too.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yes. No. Other than that, drank a lot, ate a lot, put on 10 pounds. So as you can see, I've got my watermelon water.
Just embracing the summer. Watermelon water,
exactly.
Hawaiian shirt.
So nothing has changed in the past couple months because I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt and drinking a watermelon water. I am still, very much happy.
Who you were,
who I am,
yeah.
And I know you guys went to PEI.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
got some Granville.
Finally, that's
Granville
the first
Street Diner,
time. Yeah. Oh, first of all, if you ever go to PEI, Granville Street Diner, you have to make a trip. I know I asked if I should go for breakfast and dinner. We chose breakfast just because we got there a little bit late. It was nice to finally leave this province. First time in almost 2 years. Just went all over, just spent time in Cavendish, went golfing at Belfast, which shout out to Aiden for letting me know the best value there. 9 holes, campground course. Usually a campground course it's a campground course. It's whoever shows up. This one was manicured very well, tough course. It's laid about a kite. So that was fun.
There you go. You would tell her to go fly a kite.
Yeah. No, it was a good little trip. I don't know if we'll probably go to White Point at some point here, but who knows what kind of weekend we're going to find because we're getting into some hockey season. You catch up on any shows other than the Olympics? It's funny. For the past 17 days, that's all we watched. It was Olympics when we came home, home. There was no Hell's Kitchen for the 2 weeks. I don't know if there was a Big Brother for the 2 weeks. And then last night, the Olympics were over, and I'm like,
what do you want to watch?
What do you want to watch? Like, there's nothing. I literally watched the marathon.
Oh, really?
The 42K marathon. I watched about an hour and a half of the 2-hour race because I was just like, there's nothing else on TV. Let's watch these guys run forever.
Yeah, no, honestly, I haven't watched a lot of TV. Obviously, Netflix, Heist. Heist is good. Cocaine Cowboys got added a couple days ago. AP Bio, we started that one last night. Honestly, it's just been Blue Jays and Netflix and
chill.
Yeah. Netflix and chill. That's literally been the past month.
Yeah.
In terms of entertainment, I'm not caught up on Big Brother.
It's preseason, right?
I want to get caught up on Big Brother. I just need to find the time. Hell's Kitchen, I think they've been on a break.
Yeah, they were on the Olympic break.
Yeah.
No one competes against the Olympics, right?
Yeah, so I think they start back up this week.
Yeah.
And, Thursday, the season premiere of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I'm a huge Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy. Season 8 coming up. It's their last season. So, that's basically my life for the next few weeks, few months in terms of TV.
Nice. The final question about Ontario: did you get to meet Phil Daoust? Did you find Phil the thrill when you were in Barrie?
No, I didn't. We didn't spend much time in Barrie.
Yeah.
Didn't even go to Wasaga, which was, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe we didn't go to Wasaga. Barrie.
Just no time, or not the weather?
Just the weather was crap.
Oh, really?
Last week was really nice, but we were in Combermere, Ontario, middle of nowhere. They don't even have internet, doesn't even exist. But yeah, no, the week before we were in Barrie for a few days, and the weather was crap. It was cloudy, it was cold. There was one day we went to some dinosaur amusement thing at the Georgian Mall parking lot. That was about the most fun that we had in that area in Ontario. So, but took the bus down to Toronto for the Jays game. So, that was a nightmare. If you ever
you didn't go alone, did you?
No, I went with Megan's brother to the game, and if you ever want to try to confuse your brain, try to figure out the Go Transit system. That is something else. I'm not even gonna get into it because I'll be here all night.
No, and you'll confuse everyone. And it's I when we went down to New York like 3 years ago before we moved here, 3.5 years ago, that subway system in itself, you're down below in the subway and you're like, I need that train.
Yeah.
You'd think you just take stairs. No, you got to take. It's not for me. So as always, as we get into the preseason, you can follow us on Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, now TikTok. We finally went viral, almost 12,000 views on that goalie one I made. So pretty, it's you don't really care, and then all of a sudden you open your phone one day and you're like, oh, 9,000, 10,000. So felt pretty proud of myself. And please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Quick question, sir. You got one for us?
It's kind of a fun one. I'll need you to take out your music playing app that you use on your phone.
Yep.
So I thought of one that would be kind of fun. So let's say you're, this I'll say Hot Shot because it's kind of your name. You're Hot Shot rookie in the queue.
Yeah,
and it's your first game in the queue, and you go and score a goal in your first game.
Oh man,
what's your goal song? But it can only be one of the songs on your most played list. I'll kind of go through. Man. I'll give you time to look for yours, but I'll go for mine because I didn't even realize I listened to these songs or why they would be on
top
my
song of 2020. Oh man.
why they would even be on my most played songs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. This is funny.
My top songs. Is that what you're looking at? Your top songs of 2020?
No, just your most played song. Mine's "Are You Gonna Kiss Me or Not" by Thompson Square. So that's I didn't realize I listened to that song so many times.
Yeah.
Until I found that on my phone earlier today, and I was like, really? And then I realized after that, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I do listen to that song like 3 or 4 times a day.
How'd you find that?
I don't know. It's Apple Music.
And it's Apple? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually use Spotify because I hook it up to the PlayStation. And when I play video games, I just go on a mix or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I think my most played song probably...
It would be your goal song.
Yeah, it's probably I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. That one just continually seems to come up. I've made no bones about it. Huge boy band fan here. So, that's an excellent question. I wonder what kind of responses we'll get if we ask people what their favorite...
What their top song is on their music. I actually got a follow-up one. So we're kind of the same age. Like, there's not much of an age difference between us. I'm, a year or two younger than you?
Yeah.
I think. So were you a big, club guy? Like, did you go to the club a lot when you were, 19 and 20?
No, I had a daughter at 22.
Okay.
And when you're in a town of 3,000, we got one bar, the National. It was our sea-level exotic dance.
Okay.
So when my band, Cadence, which, spoiler alert, is the intro to the show, when we would play, we would actually play on the stripper stage. Pole included. I was the drummer, so I was in the back. We always made the young kid Doan play guitar by the pole. He hated it, didn't want to be anywhere around it. So yeah, there was one bar. It was, if you're talking entertainment, you're C level bar. We weren't getting A level ladies. So yeah, that's no. I had a daughter at 22, so I wasn't much into the clubbing.
Okay. So another thing I was thinking about today is, what song. So let's say you were 19 or 20 and you were going out to the club.
Yeah.
What song do you think you slow danced to the most? Now, this one popped in my head while I was on vacation.
Yeah.
Lips of an Angel by Hinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that came out, 2005, 4-ish. That would have been right when I was 19, 20. So you hear Lips of an Angel, you just grab the nearest lady, and just start doing your
your dance,
on the dance floor. So that'd probably
be the one. I mean,
another one was Incomplete by the Backstreet Boys. I think that was kind of came out.
Such a good tune.
Kind of came out around the same time.
Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. Now that was depends which. Our old small town 3,000 people bar, that one got played quite a bit. So that would be one of them. That came out early 90s, 93, 94, I believe.
I was 10.
Yeah.
I was 10 when that song. I wasn't dancing with girls when I was 10.
No. This is when I was 19. I was still hearing that song being played. It's funny.
Oh yeah.
When I was playing senior hockey and all the young kids were playing all these tunes, and I'm just like, I got no idea what this song is. So my buddy that I played hockey with growing up, he brought in his phone, hooked it up, and it was all just Poison and everything we listened to in the dressing room in the 90s. And all these kids are just like, what is this crap? Mm-hmm. Like, you guys got pumped up to Poison, and they're playing all yeah, let's rage and all this stuff. And I'm just like, this gets you pumped up? Like, man, it's what a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, so I just Incomplete by the Backstreet Boys, 2005.
Yeah.
So I would have been 20 years old. So that's another one.
I believe that was just after Kevin left. I think that was just the four of them.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, a little trip down memory lane there for those who I guess want to know how old we are.
Yeah.
If you want to know how old we are, you can search the Lips of an Angel by Hinder and Incomplete by Backstreet Boys release dates. And minus 19 years or 20 years.
Saw them live, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Saw them at the Stampede stage, and then I saw Stained, Hinder, and Three Doors Down at the Dome. So
pretty good lineup.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk hockey? Or you want to keep talking
Yeah,
music?
let's do that.
All right, let's talk
I think
hockey.
that's people would talk.
All right.
Yeah. Well.
News and notes from around the queue.
Well, it's been a busy offseason since the draft. We didn't get into too much of what's happening in the queue. I guess we're about a month away from finding out where the Memorial Cup's going to be played. Quebec, St. John. Obviously, Quebec finally finalized the trade when the trade period opened back up, getting Bolduc. What's your gut? New coach for St. John. They went out and got another 20-year-old goaltender. Quebec's loading up. What do you? I think it's going to be Quebec. I think they just have the infrastructure. And I think St. John's had too many years of not quite. You could see them kind of building, but it's like they take a step and then the Waugh thing. They got to take a couple steps back. They can't find that goaltender. But Trevor Georgie was on Sports Quarant TV with
Uncle
Chris,
Dauber.
Uncle Dauber, and they got as good a shot as any. But I just think the league wants it in Quebec because it could just be easier with if we still have these COVID type issues.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of politics going on in the background. I think with this decision, St. John's gonna have a good team. I'm really high on Cordy Dwyer.
Yeah.
No offense to Dan Lacroix, but Cordy Dwyer is who I wanted behind Moncton's bench when Torchetti went and did his thing.
Yeah.
And got let go. So no, I'm very high on Cordy Dwyer. I think he's a great coach. He's a hard ass. So if there's any players in St. John that don't want to give 100%, don't expect to be playing. Sorry about my voice; it's kind of a little raspy there. In terms of the politics behind it, the league owes St. John a Memorial Cup
Because Regina got that one, right? The 100th year ended up going to Regina because
there's that. There's a few years that
they were
St. John
Regina was at a turn, right? It wasn't the WHL's year, was it?
I can't
remember, but
No, I
I know
can't
because it was the
remember
100th year. It was gonna.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of politics behind that. I mean, St. John was supposed to get it in 2012, but they gave it to Schwinnigan. They were supposed to get it another year, but they gave it to another team. I don't know, but I think behind the scenes, the league knows that they owe St. John a Memorial Cup,
Right.
And Harbor Station's, I guess, under renovation right now, so that could very well help their case. Do I want the tournament in St. John? Yes, from a travel standpoint.
Yeah.
I want the tournament in St. John, but from a Wildcats fan standpoint, no, because I know that gives them a 1 in 4 chance of getting another Memorial Cup. Plus, I know Uncle Dauber is trying to get me, free tournament passes. So we're waiting on that.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, if he weren't tuning in on YouTube,
there's no way he doesn't
looking
tune
over
in on
at
YouTube,
him,
yeah.
and
I'm going, are you kidding me?
Quebec, beautiful city, beautiful arena. In terms of things to do, a lot more things to do in Quebec City.
It's kind of one of those cities that's kind of built for these larger tournaments with an NHL style rank, but at some point, and we talked about it with the World Junior, it's so corporate that it only goes to these major cities. You can't just keep going to these major markets. You got to try and flip it all the way around. But it is a big financial commitment.
It is.
You have to have the right roster, and I think both teams are maybe
both
even.
teams are going to have it.
Yeah,
because
they're not done, right, with the trade deadline.
Oh God, no. With Quebec, being that they have such a big rink, your tournament prices will probably be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Because you're
the upper deck.
You're going to sell more. So why would you have to sell them for so much more?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, compared to St. John, I mean, it's what, a 6,000 there, 5,000, 6,000. You're probably looking at anywhere from $300 to $400 for a tournament pass compared to Quebec, where you might spend $200 to $300 for a tournament pass in Quebec.
6,600.
Yeah, so there's cost
the
wise.
corporate boxes in Quebec. You got
Yeah. So
the media. I went to one game as media in St. John, and that is a tiny little media area. So to put, I guess, TSN now or whoever in there.
Yeah, that's right. Eh?
Plus all your other stuff, it could be could be.
It's
It'll be interesting.
It will be. So
I think if they get a 1-4. If St. John gets it, they got a 1-4 shot at least of getting another Memorial Cup, and that's not cool.
It stings a little. That's why there's from a Wildcats from a personal standpoint, there's a pros.
FSG? FSG.
Oh, that's when I was immature. So that was 9 years ago. So when I was
that was
just
Shawinigan,
I was
wasn't it?
still it was it was
All
something
right.
else. I'd like to see St. John get it, but at the same time, there's don't want them to get it.
No. Feels like if Quebec gets it, it's kind of there's a lot of chatter about Patrick Waugh moving up, so it's kind of like the send off, if you will. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a regular year. Everyone's lining up like we're going to have interdivision play, so we're going to get to see some Quebec teams. But just quickly looking at this division, we talked a lot about it last year. The Sea Dogs, the Islanders, the Titan, they were the three top. Moncton, Halifax, Cape Breton, they were going to be battling it out. Some things have changed, stay the same. Like St. John is now going for Memorial Cup, so they're going to load up. They got the new coach. They acquired Lemieux. The Islanders, they lost in goal, but they acquired Xavier Simoneau. The Titan getting Hendrix Lapierre. It kind of looks like we're going to have three top teams and three teams fighting it. But at least we'll get to play the two teams we're fighting against. It kind of looks like a 3-3 again. In this division.
Another year like last year, right? It's going to be. I think it's pretty obvious who the top three teams will be in the division, and Halifax and ourselves and Cape Breton kind of basically the same way as last season ended up. I think the young guys in Halifax, seeing as they're going to be a year older, I think they're going to surprise a little bit.
Yep.
Cape Breton. What if? What they got for that second overall pick, I think, is an absolute joke. They got trash. They got trash in return for that second overall pick.
Tyler Pettle's going to Drummondville.
Yeah,
especially that it was okay if he was going NCAA, but now that he's going to Drummondville, and good on them for moving up to get where they were and rolling out the quote unquote red carpet. But that's it. It looks bad.
What they managed to get for that second round pick. Boggles my mind. I think that's one of the worst returns. You don't see very many second overall picks traded, but man, the fact that they only got three assets. They got Connor Shortall, for the 15th pick. Wherever Emile Perron got picked.
Yeah,
and one more draft pick. That's just off the top of my head. But
something
holy
like that.
shoot, that's a terrible return. And
so Drummondville sent Connor Shortall the 8th overall pick and the second in the 22. So the second in 2021. So the 8th, a first and a second, for Jacob Santor and the second overall pick.
Man, if I was an Eagles fan, I'd be absolutely livid.
Yeah.
That's a terrible return. And how their GM still has a job is beyond me. That's a joke. That's I would be. I know.
In Richie we trust. In
that
Tebow
would
we trust.
That would never happen here.
No.
That's. I can't even put it into words. God awful.
I mean, I can see that from the standpoint of if you knew he wasn't coming there and there was limited teams that had the ability to move up, you're kind of fighting against yourself, right? You got to take whatever return you can get per se. But I mean, when there's only one other team in the dance, when you don't have competing offers, you can't just take him and lose out. But to not get at least another first or a third or next year's second or something. It doesn't look the best. I think us and Halifax are going to be 4 or 5 all year long. I think
battling it out.
Yeah.
I think the what's the word I'm looking for here? Experience.
Yeah.
That the team that the Wildcats gained last season in the second half and into the playoffs, I think it's gonna they're gonna build on that.
Coaching staff coming back.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with Dan Lacroix still back and Heptich back and Nick McNeil coming behind the bench. Look, I expect this team to compete again every night. There's no reason why they shouldn't. And if you haven't had a chance, if you didn't have a chance to watch any of the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, I mean, with Ty Bell's bringing the lineup, I think he fits the Wildcats way.
That's a good player.
Yeah,
That's a good player.
What he brings to the what he's bringing to the team is a perfect fit.
Even Miles Mueller didn't played pretty well in the couple games that that's only going to help him come over as well as we get close to camp. So it's going to be camps are opening up all across the league. Ours gets going on Monday. It's exciting. This is one of the best times of the year, especially with this camp roster, and we can get into it. This is a packed roster, and we don't have it yet. They haven't released any names yet, but if you go to the Wildcats website, you can pretty much click on preseason roster and kind of gauge who's going to be here. But
you can take a guess.
There's we talked about it on the season finale. There's not a lot of spots left.
There's really not. But it's I'm starting to wonder if they'll bring veterans who are kind of on the bubble in for rookie,
like they have the past
in the
couple
past
years.
For the rookie camp, to see if you want a spot on this team and you can't impress a rookie camp, I'll quote who's it, Mike Commodore, pack your shit.
Yeah.
Because it's if this team's rebuilding, if there's a younger kid that's coming on board that can take your spot, he's going to get your spot. So it's that I'll be interested to see if there's any veterans coming. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I think we saw last year Kyle Foreman was in the rookie camp. Jake Stewart was in rookie camp, wasn't he? Not?
Jake Stewart was in rookie camp last year.
So Foreman didn't make it, but Stewart, did
the year before. I think Jacob Arsenault,
yeah,
the defenseman,
exactly.
was there.
So it's been done, and so I'll be interested to see if it happens again. And
I think the only way it doesn't is if they're just like, we have so many rookies that deserve shots, and like Richie said on the season finale, guys are coming here and they're going to push and they're going to make impacts, especially we saw with the shortened training camps last year, the shortened numbers, I guess we didn't get to see a lot of guys here last year, so you got those guys plus a lot of these new kids they drafted this year. It's going to be
it's fun, competitive. As long as it's competitive, and during these scrimmages they go out and hit each other, knowing that, and don't even think about the fact that in 2 weeks' time they could be teammates. Just go out and pound each other.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Your worth, right? You got to prove that you can be here, and you got to have that nasty edge. And then these kids, they've been through this enough that they know that taking a hit. I don't think we see the fisticuffs, but tough physical hockey. They know that
you see
that guy's just trying to take a job, right?
You see players drop the gloves at NHL practices. So, hey man, if these players want to, if these players want to fight, go ahead and fight. I'm not going to stop them.
No,
but yeah, quick glance at that preseason roster. Any players that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh man.
I got to ask him a question.
Yeah,
I put him on the spot.
out of the rookies, that's a lot of asterisks here for rookies. Jonas Tybel, I don't know when he's going to get here, but obviously he'd be one that I want to see. I believe in Eli.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to remember what his Bayerjean.
Yes.
I believe in Eli. Yeah, I mean, to get that kid where they got him seemed like a steal. I go back to goaltending. I want to see Gio take a step forward. Some of the guys they're bringing in. Dawson Rowe was just added. There's one other one. There was Thomas Couture. A couple free agents that have been added. I mean, those are probably the two that I want to see. Nicholas Sheehan got a lot of, was the goalie that won the job in camp, had a few games during the regular season. I guess it's technically his backup role, but does he?
It's wide open, man.
It's wide open, and can he kind of fight off, those guys that are coming? And maybe we should have Brandon Thibault on to talk about these goaltenders.
Oh,
right?
Maybe
a little tease on the episode. We'll see. But yeah, no, for me, it's the goaltenders. Thomas Couture, Dawson Rowe. I think Justin Katz will be here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what his NCAA status kind of is, but yeah, for me, it's goaltenders. Yourself?
For me, I'm gonna throw out a few names. Just because I know I mentioned him last year, Thomas Auger. I think he's just another guy that's one of those late round gems that from the scouting staff. I think he's going to come in and surprise the pants off some people.
Mm-hmm.
Bryson Curry, just drafted last June, July. When was the draft? July.
June 25th.
June 25th, right? So he's another late round pick that I think might surprise some people, and I'll go on the D side, and I'll go with it's
so funny. We had this conversation last year. I was like, I want to see Thomas Darcy. I want to see how he does. Frankie Isenza, and we got to see them, and we're like, yep,
yeah,
they look like they could be regulars.
On the D side, I think Ethan Delmont would be a player that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay.
Played some junior A up in Grand Falls. Didn't put up many points, but at the same time didn't look very much out of place. But yeah, Dawson Rowe is a goaltender I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously didn't play last year in Ontario, but as a 16-year-old, played
big kid.
6'3", 180. Played junior A in Ontario at 16.
Yeah.
I think he put up goals against of under 3 and a save percentage of just less than 900. So those are super respectable numbers for someone paying. I mean, we want to call it junior A. We'll call it junior A. But yeah, it's a Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. I think it's the same league that DeYoung was in.
Oh, okay.
GOA.
That worked out.
GOJHL, I think it is. For the Elmira Sugar Kings.
Elmira.
And so respectable numbers. Big kid, 6'3", 180.
Yeah. Takes
up a lot of net. And so he's someone that could come on board and maybe steal a job. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're, poking tires. Is that
kicking tires?
Kicking tires. That's the one. Kicking tires with maybe some 19 or 20-year-old goalies that are going to be left in the dark in the dub or the OHL. And if it's a 20-year-old goalie, it's a 20-year-old goalie, right?
Yeah.
He probably has 30, 40, 50, maybe more than that games experience in the dub or in the OHL. So, if you can bring in a goalie that's got, 50 CHL games experience,
yeah,
you kind of have to give them the edge over someone like a Sheehan or a Demadia or a Rowe or a Couture for that reason, because that's what the goaltending is. That's what we're going to need in the back.
Yeah, you're going to need veteran.
We're going to need experience, right?
Yeah.
So, I think I'm sure there's some sort of conversations going on in terms of that happening, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a loaded rookie group. I don't know if you have it up there. I told you to if you could find the Pelche return.
Oh yes.
The reason that this this rookie camp is so loaded with players that could crack this roster. And even last year with the Nathan Caseys and the Thomas Darcy's, and when you're in a rebuild, guys are going to get opportunities, and you've got to take the opportunity. And you just look back at that Pelche trade, and you talked about it with the Eagles not getting a lot for that, and it's never an easy trade. And they traded Pelche, they traded Spence, both at different times. One was at the draft, one was at the Christmas season. Never easy trades to make, but when you hit and you do it properly, you got some names there. It makes a big difference.
I mean, yeah. So just by trading Pelche and Spence, and this isn't done. Like there's still 3 draft picks that are to be
one's
determined
a potential
here.
lottery.
Yeah,
The Valdor one, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we got Vincent Filion, we got Johan Lushing, Mathis Cloutier, Justin Katz, Samuel De Grossier. He's going to be a 20-year-old this year. Nick Blagden, Etienne Morin, Alex Mercier, and Luke McPhee. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's plus 2022 second, 2022 fourth, and the 2023 first overall.
Which is
first rounder, which could be a lottery pick in 2 years.
I mean, I think we're probably
it's pretty close. It's a pretty good shot. But
yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's
the gift that keeps on giving.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys guaranteed that are going to grow with this team for the next 2-3 years. You
have 5 every night players in that lineup.
Yeah. Which is
out of that, you got 5 every day.
Make it 6 probably with that. Let's make it 7. Let's make it 7 with the 2023 first.
Yeah.
Guarantee that player is in the league.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like just right now, before camp gets started, you got 5 every night players, right? Like
that's a huge return
from 2 players. That's drafting, scouting. And Rich will say it. It's the scouting department. That's drafting, scouting done correctly. And that's why this, every team made the playoffs. Yeah, we get it. That's why this team made some noise in the playoffs last year. And we're not an easy out when they were playing Bathurst and St. John, right?
100%.
So it's going to be exciting. It gets started on the 16th. I think it's at the Avenir Center, but could be at the Fourplex. I don't really know. We don't really have details yet.
Yeah. Registration's on the 16th.
Yeah.
That's next Monday.
Yep.
And then probably a couple days of practice. And then there's a game
in Fredericton
against the Sea Dogs on the 19th.
And then back here at the Fourplex
on the 20th. Yeah,
so who knows? Maybe we'll take a trip up, stream that game live. It'll be our broadcasting debut. Do you imagine that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Facebook Live, the amount of...
We can get some good views, but I think it'd also be going against the... maybe some league media policy agreements.
Yeah, especially when we're up in the corner.
Yeah.
Shot scores! And boom goes the dynamite.
That's exactly what I would say.
And then the 24th, 25th, back-to-back against Bathurst. And then we'll get into the schedules as we go. But yeah, by the time we'll have a little bit of an idea of some of the rookies that are in camp next week. And then it's kicking off to some preseason games where you're in shorts in a rink and you're freezing.
I will be in shorts, but I will also have a hoodie on.
Nice. All right. You want to talk to some guests? You want to have our big guest on that we're going to have?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, man. We teased it on the end of the season 4 finale that we're going to get a pretty big guest. We didn't just get one big guest. We got 2 of them. You teased it out a little bit. It's the Wildcats' 25th season, so we figured why not kick off our 5th season with 2 former Wildcats drafted 4th and in the 5th round in 2009, former dual captains and hometown guys, Elaine and Alex Saunier. Guys, thanks for taking the time to join us. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Really good. Yeah, really good. Thanks again for joining us. How's the summer been so far?
It's been good. Been out golfing a bit. I have 2 kids now, so my oldest one joined soccer for the first year this summer. So we got to spend time with the family with things opening up with the COVID restrictions and everything, which was great. So and we even were able to get outside of the province, went to PEI. So it was a good summer so far.
You got 2 kids already. Didn't your junior career just end like last year? Man.
Yeah, we wasted no time, I guess.
How do you feel old, right?
Yeah, really. Geez, it's been that long already. My God.
What about you, Alex?
You're on mute
Same
now.
here. It's been really. What?
There you go.
Yeah, no, I wasn't hearing you for a bit there.
Yeah, no, it's been good to be, obviously with COVID being, some of the restrictions being lifted and being able to see some friends and family and really taking advantage of that time, and also taking advantage of the weather and golfing a bit, and like I said, just really taking the time to some vacation time off work and kind of recharging the battery a little bit.
I like it. Well, let's talk about your time in Moncton there. Obviously, we've had Steve Johnson on before, and we talked about him, being the Moncton guy that got to captain his hometown team. I guess just what was it like for you guys to not only captain your hometown team, but kind of do it together? And I think you're the last dual captains we had until this past season, having a home and road captain. So what did it mean to you guys to be captains of the Wildcats?
It was for sure an honor. It was really special. I mean, we grew up in Capellet, just about 25 minutes away from Moncton. We grew up watching the Wildcats. So for us, just playing for the Wildcats was a dream of ours. Having the opportunity to be co-captains during our last year was really special. I mean, the Moncton Wildcats organization has meant so much to us, like just growing up, and the fact that we were able to be part of it, be leaders on a team, to be able to share that, I guess, honor with my brother was pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, sitting here and just kind of the support that we got, throughout our career with the Wildcats, obviously our hometowns in Capellet, but everybody, around Moncton really kind of rallied around us. And I feel like we were able to inspire some young hockey players. And, for us, it was, growing up and dreaming of one day playing for the Wildcats. We got drafted in the Coliseum with our family there, our parents, our grandparents, and
That's pretty
that
cool.
was pretty special. Definitely a little bit of stress there because you want to get picked together, and it kind of ends up you're picked both by the Moncton Wildcats. So it really worked out well for us, and we couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity that we got in the 4 years that we got to play in Moncton, and obviously winning a championship.
So it wasn't like the Sedins where you got picked back to back. As I alluded to, it was how stressful was it when I think it was Alex got picked in the 5th round? Were you pretty worried, or did you kind of have an idea that you might be coming to Moncton with your brother?
Well, yeah, it was certainly like worried. You never know what's going to happen. You see some teams kind of trading back-to-back picks, and you're saying, "Well, is this kind of, are they going for it?" And especially for us, we would talk to most of the teams before the draft, and we really were honest in saying that we really wanted to play together. And I think, obviously, in hindsight now, I think people understand why we wanted to play together.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't that clear to certain teams, and so we had to make sure that came across. And certainly I was happy for Anna, but I still remember him being drafted in the 4th round and kind of being reluctant to talk to reporters and things like that and commit to the next year just because he knew how good of a duo we would be. So, fortunately, that round maybe took half an hour, but it probably felt like a couple of days just because you're waiting to get. And you get your parents there that are probably more worried than you, but like I said, everything worked out.
They're just worried they don't want to travel to 2 places.
No, actually, I remember that draft pretty clearly. I remember being in the stands, and I remember you guys getting picked, and I think you guys were kind of they had the players on the floor, right, of the Coliseum, and maybe I'm just thinking of things here, but maybe you guys were, I don't know, maybe 20 rows back or something like that, and I heard Alain's name get picked, and I was like, okay, well, you're just I think as fans we had our fingers crossed that that Alex would be the next one too, and we were fortunate to get both of you. I guess my question it kind of comes into your first year with the team, and you had that the run to the Mem Cup, and I think it was this year, but our buddy Sam Cosentino from Sportsnet gave you guys the nicknames the New Brunswick Sedins. So was that something that, I guess, where'd you guys first find out that that was your nickname? And was it kind of something that was a dressing room thing too? Like, did it click on with the team?
I think we probably found out about it at Mem Cup. I remember the first game. Alex was playing on the power play because Deschamps got hurt earlier, so he chipped in with a couple of goals, and maybe it started from there. But the word got around. We kind of knew about it, but we also understand that the Sedins were doing what we were doing at the Q level in the NHL level. So when they were drafted, I think second, third overall. So obviously they're guys we looked up to. We thought it was fun to be obviously compared to them, but also and really looked up to their games. We probably had some teammates joke about it here and there, but we didn't make too much of it.
Yeah, same thing. I said, I think they more so. I remember the teammates not referring to that joke, but certainly in practices and things like that, being annoyed at having to maybe play 2-on-2s against us, just because we were so the chemistry was just there, and obviously we were the style, thinking of the Sedins, knowing where somebody's going to be without even looking. We were kind of those type of players, and they would almost be how did you know he was there? But I always say it's not really a twin thing. It's obviously we have great hockey sense, and you learn each other's tendencies throughout 15 years of playing together. So that's kind of how it works so well.
So in your first year there, obviously you're lucky enough to get the championship and go to the Memorial Cup. Just, I wasn't here for that, obviously. I've been in and around Calgary when they were going for their runs when they won the title there. So just what was it like to be, representing your home city on that kind of a playoff run? Like the team's first championship run, what was it like in this city for you guys?
It was a crazy year for sure. For us, we were just coming to the Q, so we didn't know what to expect, and then we end up going on. Well, we knew at Christmas we made a lot of trades, traded a lot of young guys, and we weren't in those packages, luckily. So we kind of played, and we kind of figured out a role where we were more like PK energy players, supporting players, but we made a great run, and we were playing St. John in the finals, and it's the only time that two New Brunswick teams have, two New Brunswick teams and two of the biggest rivals met in the President's Cup finals. So I just remember how crazy it was. The games would sell out in about 10 minutes, and I just remember how crazy it was. We would stay in the hotel at Harbor State, close to Harbor Station, and all the fans would obviously heckle us, or they would obviously recognize us. So it was a pretty intense rivalry. We were fortunate enough to come on top, and then going to the Memorial Cup. Memorial Cup, we played, I think Windsor that year had about 7 or 8 first round NHL picks. You think about Taylor Hall, Cam Fowler, Ryan Ellis, all those guys, Philip Grubauer, they were stacked. So just to kind of think about it now, we were lining up against those guys. So it's pretty special to think about that.
I guess we'll take it back. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to echo what he said. I think we certainly had a really special group, and for us, coming in and really kind of needing to, it almost goes back to training camp. I remember we had to prove ourselves to make that team, just because of older teams. You had a lot of 19 and 20-year-olds. Our defense, like Savard and Barbario, and those guys were obviously stars in the league, and like I said, we kind of loaded up on forwards, going to get Tessier, Gabriel Bourque, and Deschamps at Christmas, which I think they're all captains in their respective teams. So, after that, we really went on the run after Christmas, and we were just so deep, and obviously Real Pal got called back for at Christmas as well. So, that run was special. Like I said, the two cities, St. John and Moncton, were buzzing, and obviously sold out crowds. And then you go to a Memorial Cup. It's a great experience. Obviously, you wish for a different result, but it's such a short tournament, and obviously, one of you said you were following Calgary. That was our first game. We kind of maybe laid a neck there a little bit. We were up, I think, 3 or 4-1. go into the third and end up losing that game. Then you turn around and play the host team that's got the crowd behind them, and then you got Windsor on your third game. So kind of how it happened, but you're still, certainly after all those years, you recognize kind of what you achieved as a group and what you kind of the excitement that you brought to the fans.
Yeah, I won't lie. I cheered for the Hitmen in that first game, but after that, I was cheering for you guys because I didn't like Brandon and I sure didn't like Windsor. So I did cheer for Moncton in those next two games.
Awesome. We're gonna get some fan questions in here.
Yeah, I can get some fan questions.
I'll try to think of some more questions while we're waiting.
We'll get one from Mylan and Nate. What is your best memory of your time as Wildcats?
Well, for me, I mean, it's always winning, right? That's what you dream of,
Yeah.
like winning the President's Cup. So to be able to share that, especially in Moncton with all our family there, I remember them all coming on the ice after that and thinking that the 15, 20 years you've spent playing hockey and all the hours spent working out and stuff like that, it's all worth it in that moment. So it was a special group, special feeling. So for me, that's probably the top moment for sure.
Yeah, and I think especially you're 17 years old, you win the President's Cup, you don't take it for granted, but after that, obviously you don't come as close to winning a championship, so you definitely appreciate that experience. And but I think for us, like playing 4 years in front of the fans and the family for NHL type kind of ran organization which is second to none in the queue, especially now with the facilities that they have. It's just such a good experience for the players, and where else would you want to get developed, right?
We got one other one here from Marco LeBlanc. Who is the toughest guy to play against in the queue?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I guess I should have sent these to you so you had an idea. It's a long while to think back then, but
Yeah, no, it's a good. I don't know. It's you'd obviously have to probably look at the Maritime Division, but I just think for us, after that Memorial Cup year, we kind of jumped from fourth line players, secondary scoring players to top line players and really point producers. So and we obviously logged a lot of minutes and always got to face we were playing the same five guys, especially on the road. They would match the same five guys against us and just really trying to play hard checking against us. So it was definitely not an easy task any game on the road. I don't know if any names comes to mind. I know certainly if we're talking about St. John, I mean St. John had kind of a dynasty, if you can call it, almost for 3 or 4 years. So they were definitely hard to play against, and from a skills perspective for sure.
Yeah, for me as well. I can't really point anybody out, but like I said, on the road, we're definitely getting matched and playing the same guys all the time. But I always try to focus on our game and never who we were playing against, and so I'm kind of on the spot right now, but we've definitely had some good rivalries. You think of the Halifax Moosehead during our last year, St. John our first year. So within our division, we definitely had some good rivalries, and there was some tough matchups in there for sure.
You got one?
What about the one from our friend Jonathan up in Bathurst? This one kind of adding a little bit of comedy
humorous,
to the show. So. Do you got it up
he's just knowing, the twin bond that we talked about there. He asked if one of you got injured on the ice, did the other one kind of feel it, or was it more just the hockey sense twin bond that you guys had there? He's a character, by the way. He's a character for sure.
We get that question a lot. So no, we don't. But no, it's something we hear a lot, and it never gets old, I guess.
I guess before you guys came to Moncton, I mean your run with the Moncton Flyers in 2009 was pretty memorable as well. Anytime you play for the Moncton Flyers, you can expect to win. 2009 Atlantic champs went to the TELUS Cup. What was that experience like?
Yeah, and so like I actually think we were the first team to go to the Telus Cup, and the run of going to the Telus, it seems like now they go to the Telus Cup every year or every second year. So I guess we can take a bit of credit for starting that run. But anyways, no, it's just a tremendous program they have. John DeCourcy's done an incredible job with that organization. Similar to how the Moncton Wildcats are an organization that you want to play for in the Q. Moncton Fire, same thing. I mean, in terms of before people were thinking, my kid go to prep school, better development, let's go play in the U.S. or something like that. But that's not the case. We have a grade A organization right here in Moncton. For us we were able to play there. I think we had 7 or 8 guys get drafted in the Q that year. It was a special group. We were able to win the Atlantic Championship and go to the Telus Cup. And even a lot of names that we played against in the Telus Cup that we either played against after in the Q, or we saw that they were playing in the WHL or OHL. So it was definitely a great run, and probably because we were obviously not drafted at 15, so that's kind of how we made our name, is by kind of leading that team. But we had a great group.
Yeah, sorry, I keep cutting you off there, Alex. Go ahead. I keep forgetting there's two of you guys.
Yeah, there's 2 of us. Yeah, exactly. No, well, I was just gonna say, those are the years that you kind of remember the most. And obviously, we were fortunate enough, to win pretty much at almost every level growing up, and we kind of played the same crop of players and kind of pushed each other. And I think that's for part of the reason why a lot of those guys ended up playing in the Q, and we had a lot of success together, some great experiences, and for us it was definitely like a statement year. We back then, the 15-year-olds could only get drafted in the first 5 rounds, so we got passed over. Obviously, the too small and too slow critics were out there, and that's kind of what drove us. But at the same time, I say that, and me and Anas have always been about kind of putting pressure on each other, so we kind of didn't kind of hear those things. But certainly a good year for us, and put us on the map for the QNBHL draft.
Yeah, that team. I mean, that team with the Flyers was pretty stacked. I mean, your buddy Pierre Didapo was. You guys have some good matchups with him in St. John over the years. But some guy that's not doing a lot with hockey these days is Sawyer Hene. You guys keep in touch with him. I know he did his pitch on Dragon's Den with Country Liberty. Do you guys in touch with him, or you guys do any sort of marketing for him as well?
So I mean, he's part of the group that we kind of grew up playing with. Alex was just referring to, we grew up playing with West Kent, Q AAA, Banner AAA, and then Flyers. We had you talk about Pierre Didapo, Sawyer Hene, Trey Lois, all those guys. We kind of played together all the way through, and then the Q we obviously got drafted by different teams, so we're kind of rivals for a bit. But at the end of the day, it's guys that we grew up playing with, and guys that I call friends still today. Sawyer, we're keeping in touch. I mean, it's so great to see what he's doing there with Country Liberty. We played a senior a couple of years ago, and he was playing for Richterbach too. So it was another, I guess, friendly competition there. But it's great to see the guys, what they're doing now. I mean, hockey only lasts for so long. People move on and do other good stuff. So it's great to see people having success for sure.
If he asked me, I think if he would have brought you guys on the Dragon's Den, he might have got a little better deal than he got.
I'm just looking at the 2012-2013 roster, your guys' last year there. Connor Garland played 26 games. Did you guys know what kind of player he was going to be moving forward? Could you kind of see that early? And I guess my next question, do you guys have a favorite NHL team, or do you just follow a lot of guys that you're close with in the dressing room, like the Barbashevs, the Deneaus? You played with Mark Savard. Do you follow your friends, or do you actually have a team that you follow?
Well, so I'll jump in to your last question first. So the team that we rooted for growing up was the Colorado Avalanche. We kind of Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg were the guys that we looked up to, and obviously they won the Cup in 2001, and we were 10 years old. So that was kind of obviously they were always competitive. So that was one of the things that we definitely looked up to. But now it's exactly what you said. I think we like to root for guys that we played with, and even the guys that we played against and kind of respected. Like, this year Stanley Cup final, we, Phil Danault was playing for Montreal, and then David Savard was playing for Tampa Bay. So you obviously want to, you can't see them both win the cup, but you're cheering them to succeed. And so that's kind of the way I look at the NHL now. And as far as Connor Garland, I think, he was that young American that had that swagger that comes in, and definitely, we were 20-year-olds, and I think we certainly tried to, I guess, show him the way a little bit, but we had a lot of fun with him, and obviously the skill was second to none, and he just got better and better, and obviously, that's translated now to having a good NHL career, so super happy to see him have success, and looking forward to see what he's going to do in Vancouver this year.
Yeah, I remember having him on the show, and he told us about the story of when you guys picked him up at the airport in Montreal, and some about how somebody's making a joke about who's this grade 7 kid getting on the bus or something like that.
The long hair with the sunglasses, and I think he even said the white sunglasses or whatever, and getting on the bus, and you guys were all just kind of ribbing him.
And then he goes and scores in his first game, so no big deal, right?
Well, the thing about it, like he was 16 years old that year, and he like you said, he was on the fourth line. He wasn't playing a lot, but he was finding a way to. He's just that type of guy that finds a way to get on the score sheet somehow. Like it kind of like every level people are asking me like, are you surprised by the success he's having? And I was like, the guy's been proving everybody wrong at every level. Like, so I'm not surprised, and I'm super happy. It couldn't happen to a better guy. Got a good attitude, works hard. So super happy to see him succeed.
Yeah, we were fans of him in Arizona. I don't know how we're going to deal with him in Vancouver, being Flames and Oilers fans. So we'll have to see if we get him back on the show, I guess. Just talk about your time at the University of Moncton. I mean, you guys went 4 years in Moncton with the Wildcats, 4 years in university. Just what was that time like to play your whole Q career and then play your university career? I hear I'm not nearly that skill level, but I do hear a lot. The level is kind of the same as the Q. Did you guys find that when you moved to the UDM?
Well, I think for sure. Like in terms of the skill, you get a lot of the I guess the best players from the Q or even it's the CHL. So that kind of gives an idea. Like you get the best players from the OHL, WHL that don't decide to go play pro because obviously there's a lot of players that want to go in Europe and play semi-professional in the US and certainly for a lot of us the offers were on the table, but a big priority for us was getting a degree and preparing for life after hockey. Obviously we recognized that we had a good career with the Wildcats, but we obviously were Acadian as well. So that kind of culture, we decided to go play in Moncton another 4 years, and certainly a good experience and a great 4 years. We got our master's degree and built some great friendships, and obviously we were competitive our first year. After that, we kind of weren't as competitive as we wish we would have been, but I mean, it's such a great league. You always see the U.S. on top of the national championship, right? So, like, I always say, like, there's 3 or 4 teams that could be, the 3 or 4 top teams in the U.S. are probably the 3 or 4 top teams in Canada. That's how good the AUS is compared to the other leagues.
Yeah, I mean, I can just add, like, it was a great experience. Again, like, for us, like, fortunate to be able to play in Moncton, another organization that we looked up to when they hosted the Nationals. I think it was maybe 05, 06 at the Coliseum. It was great to see them. I think they lost to UNB in the finals, but it was a great tournament. So it was definitely special, again, to play there 4 years. Like I said, we made some great friendships there as well. Very competitive hockey. I mean, the difference between there and the Q is that obviously you're playing against men, you're playing against 20 to 25-year-olds. So it's a little different that sense, a little more physical, a little more stick work because there's no fighting. But a great league to develop, even if you're thinking about going to Europe after that. We see a lot of people go play in the East Coast after that. So it's definitely not for everybody, but for us, we thought it was the best route for us.
And the other thing I'll add too, like just to give you an idea of the level, like you see like the UMBs and the other teams in the U.S. go play out NCAA, like the Boston universities and the Boston colleges, and to kind of prepare for the AUS season. And a lot of times, the university team ends up winning the game, so that gives you an idea of the level of that league, right?
Cool. Well, guess we'll wrap it up. But I guess before we do, what's other than fatherhood? I guess if you want to put it that way, what's life like as a Sonia these days?
Well, for me, I mean, I got 2 kids, so that's pretty much all I got. So,
That's 2 full-time jobs, 3 full-time jobs actually, right?
Yeah, I got almost a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, so it's rock and roll for sure with that and work, and so pretty busy with that. So and
was the 3-year-old on skates yet?
I did get him on skates last year, just because of COVID. We're trying to find stuff to do on an outside rink, but it's more walking on skates than skating now. But I mean, we actually brought him to a Wildcats game this year. We're in a boot, and he's been talking about it ever since. Like, loves Wild Willie. He wants me to show him videos on YouTube of when we were playing and stuff like that. So it's great. I'm definitely looking forward now that with less restrictions and stuff like that. Looking forward to bringing him back this year to watch some games. So excited for that.
Yeah, and for me, it's been similar. I think similar to everybody. Obviously, with COVID and everything, trying to take advantage of spending time with family when we're allowed, and but also trying to coach and help some young hockey players in the community. And I'm sure at some point, Anna's going to be bugging me to help to coach his sons, but. No, it's really any way we can help out young hockey players. We'll stay involved, I think, for probably the rest of our lives. It's been such a huge part of our life. But at some point, it's no more about us. It's about giving back and helping others kind of succeed and achieve what they set out to do.
Is coaching kind of what you're focusing on? Could we see you behind the bench of the Flyers someday, or scouting?
Yeah, I like. Hockey's our passion, and I don't think we'll always stay involved in some type of way. I mean, it's harder for me right now with 2 kids, but I can't wait. I'm not going to force them to play hockey, but they'll have every chance they want to play. So,
I'm not going to force them, but I'm just going to keep pushing them towards the ice instead of the soccer field. Like, just go to the ice. I'm not going to force you, but if you just want to go to the ice.
Yeah, so no, but I mean, definitely coaching, scouting, something I do want to get involved in later for sure. And I think it's the same for Al, but I'll let him.
No, same here.
Yeah, well, Adam and I have a pretty good relationship with Richie Tebow here in Moncton, so
we'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll get you his number, and if they're ever looking for some scouts in the area, we'll let you guys know.
I think he's doing a pretty good job. So.
Yeah, not bad.
I guess just the last one for me. I mean, you touched on it there, Lenny. You brought your little guy. Like, do you guys get out to? I mean, obviously last year was tough, but other than last year, do you guys get to a lot of Wildcat games? And do you get stopped a whole lot and reminiscing about your time with the Wildcats, or are you able to just kind of go and enjoy a game?
Yeah, we do get out. I mean, a few times, like it was harder last year, obviously, but we do try to go out a few times, especially with the Avenir Center. We had a chance to go and have a look at the facilities, like the gym, the video room, and it's just state of the art. So it's pretty impressive. Now that I have my kids a little older, I'm definitely gonna try to get out more. But I mean, we definitely get recognized, I think, when we go, just because we don't see twins everywhere, so they kind of connect that and ask some questions about our time, but we don't get bucked too much, and if we do, we're happy to talk about it. I mean, it's like such a special part of our life, and even this weekend we were at a wedding, and we were just talking at the table, and Alex says, don't you miss those days of you just miss the guys, you miss the competition. So it's years that you'll never forget. So we're happy anytime we're around the rink and get to see some maybe fans that we remember from our time and connect on different events that happen, stuff like that. So it's always great to be anywhere where the Wildcats play.
Oftentimes now it's the hockey teams that we coach. I was coaching a band in AAA team. It kind of makes you feel old a little bit because they tell you we're their idols when they're like 4 years old. So like or 4 or 5 years old. So, but it's a good bond with the kids, and obviously you did something right when they say that they were looking up to you, and so yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, this is pretty awesome. I thank you for both of you guys for jumping on and being part of our season premiere. We got this going where every year we kind of have a nice big guest. So we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evenings and away from your 2 kids there to have a chat with us about your time in Moncton. So truly, thanks, guys.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Oh man, that was what was that like for you? I mean, you grew up watching them play, and now. Getting to interview them.
To think that it's been
9 years.
9 years,
yeah,
since they played for the Wildcats. It's just hard to believe. I mean, it just seems like it was yesterday that their junior careers were over, and that's just. I mean, I had no idea that Alain had 2 kids.
2 kids.
That's that just shows how fast. How fast time flies, man. That's I don't know. Good for him though. Getting them out there at a young age, and not only as a parent, but on the skates. And no, that was an awesome interview. Great way to kick off the season.
That's an excellent way to kick off the season. Are you on a watermelon sugar high or what?
Hi. Oh wow.
Oh, that's a good.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're just about done. All right, that'll do it for our season premiere training camp episode. It's good to be back, buddy. It's good to be back talking hockey. Hopefully we can do this for the next X amount of weeks straight without a 2-month break here, a 3-month break here. Let's just have a regular year. It's finally good. We're gonna be back. Everyone's gonna be back at the training camp.
100%. Full camps. Mandatory vaccines. If you don't have both, you can't play.
Yeah,
I think it's a great rule.
Yeah. And that's a CHL rule. That's not just a Quebec rule. That's
of course
across the CHL.
And I know we're green. We hit a bit of a roadblock here recently, but I don't think we have anything to worry about. It shouldn't interrupt training camp.
No.
Shouldn't put any border restrictions in place. But no, let's give her and have another good year. And maybe we. I talked to Adam. Maybe he's gonna. I have a contest idea, but it's gonna depend if Adam can pull some strings on a gift card or something.
Well, we're trying.
And,
we are trying.
I mean, even if you have to, free oil change from.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But no, we got Rosemary Lynn massage back for Wildcats of the week, or Wildcats Wildcat of the week. We got our Eric Murray stick tap. He's back this year, so we're looking to. If you want to be a part of the show, sponsor, throw something at us. We got news and notes around the queue, weekly rewind. If you want to jump on, we're more than happy to slide into the old DMs and let us know if you want to help. But again, we want to thank Alex and Alain Saunier for joining us on tonight's show. As we move forward, we're going to look to bring back View from the Other Bench. Get a little preview of the other Maritime teams, even though we basically know St. John and Acadie Bathurst almost inside and out from last year. But hey, this time next week we'll have a couple camp practices, maybe a few scrimmages under our belt, and getting ready for a rookie game in Fredericton. And
we get to preview a rookie game?
Preview 2 rookie games, the 19th and the 20th.
What a great time that's going to be.
What a time to be alive, and don't miss it. You can download us every Wednesday. You know where to find us, Apple, Spotify, and right here on YouTube. Jeremy, welcome back. It's good to be back. Let's do this.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast Podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.